understands or can recognize me behind this incredibly powerful disguise. The fake glasses, the goatee, awesome haircut. You like that? Hey, everybody, it's AC. No, it's not AC. All these places where I work, I don't know where the hell I am. Oh, where I'm at? Down Beach. My apologies in advance. DownbeachBUZZ, your favorite local news source. DownbeachBUZZ.com. But if we can keep it on the down low that I'm webcasting, because there's an awful, I just don't want to, my co-partners, my colleagues, Sherry Lilienfeld of Apex Prime, don't tell her I'm doing a webcast without her. JBL, Janice Berg-Levy of Intracoastal Marketing, they'll be very jealous. Nonetheless, I couldn't sleep last night. I watched the Margate commissioner meeting, the workshop meeting where they had the department heads, and then, of course, the public meeting. Last night, September 23, 2021. It's the Down Beach Buzz webcast, and there was a lot of discussion, a lot of good stuff. It was active. It really was. And my good friend, Mr. Richard Deeney, this is the gentleman right here, the handsome guy right here, Richard Deeney. He's from Ocean City. He's the business administrator for the city of Margate. I think that kind of means like he's the city manager, sort of, kind of. And over here are my three favorite gentlemen. Do you like the way my goatee works? Steve's Barbershop gave me a goatee where I can literally cough under the goatee. It's COVID-19 approved. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Mr. Becker, that's the mayor of Margate. In the middle there, John Amadeo, former crane operator, built the Revel by himself with a freaking crane. And Maury Blumberg does something with garage doors or something. I don't know what he does. All three good guys. All four of these are good guys. But on occasion, they say things at the commissioner meetings that trigger me. They trigger me. They make me very upset. They were talking about the Zoom meetings, that they really don't think it's necessary for people to make a decision. Do we want to go into the commissioner's chambers right there on Washington Avenue, the old city hall? In this day and age of healthcare and health crises and pandemics and viruses and the plague, I think the plague's coming back. Some people say, listen, can we have an option? Sure, if we feel okay, we'll mask up. We'll come in and we'll get to enjoy you guys live and in person right there at Old City Hall, Margate, right across from Wawa, Club Wa. And let's make it a choice, because some of us are immunocompromised. We're afraid we might get sick. Could be a breakthrough. Some of us getting out of chemo, you might be more susceptible to getting sick. So you don't really want to go into a small room with a lot of people because you could get sick. And people were asking Mr. Deeney, Mr. Becker, Mr. Amadeo, and Mr. Blumberg, hey, can we do a hybrid thing? It's like a choice. You can be at home and you can watch and participate in these Margate commissioner meetings, or you can actually join in all the fun live and in person. You could be sitting right next to John Sewell. Sewell, 22 West Drive. It's your choice. But Mr. Deeney, this fine gentleman right here, and Mr. Amadeo, they don't like that idea. They don't like that idea. And it's very disappointing. So I'm going to debunk. Like Mr. Deeney, keep in mind, first off, he's a great business administrator. Good guy, smart guy. He's like the adult in the room. But he's an Ocean City guy. And he knows that Ocean City has a taxpayers association. Ocean City has a very robust website that, quite frankly, it's one of the best municipal sites when it comes to archiving the meetings, the documents, the PDFs, the ability to watch video on demand, all that. So Mr. Deeney knows the benefit to a constituency. He knows how technology can help people participate in civic meetings, whether it's a zoning board, a school board, or a commissioner or a council meeting. Mr. Deeney knows that Ocean City does that well. But for some reason, Mr. Deeney does not think that Margate should provide that access. I don't know where he got that from. And then Amadeo chimes in. Oh, I got some audio. Yeah, that's what I do. I could be playing pickleball right now. No, I can't play pickleball. I got to analyze and editorialize to see what the hell happened last night at the Margate Commissioner meeting of 9/23/2021. They're anti-Zoom. They don't want to do it. I know why. They don't want you to see how the sausage is made. They don't want you to see how things are being made behind the scenes. You got to get your ass in city council. You got to get into the chambers if you want to participate and ask a question. Oh, that grinds my gears. Anyway, let's see what we got here. I mean, would you feel safe being in a room like this in this day and age? Probably not. Of course, this is from 2018. See, there's right there. That's John Sewell right there, my hero. I'm not sure what he's reading there, but would you feel comfortable there? Some people just don't want to, be involved with a lot of people, but they want to participate and they want to know what's going on, how decisions are being made. They want to be able to provide some public comment. 3 minutes, because Mayor Becker will cut you off. This is what I like. Remember the good old days when we were forced to do Zoom? Zoom was pretty good because everybody was staring into a laptop. You get to see these handsome people and see them talk and discuss and get angry and things like that. Got to see John Amadeo, Commissioner John Amadeo of Margate. He's trying to figure out how to best take advantage of DownbeachBUZZ. He's a big fan now. There's a photograph of Atlantic County Commissioner Denny Levinson teaching John all about DownbeachBUZZ. Thank you, Denny. Appreciate that. So let's go back here. So they're not Mr. Deeney. That's this gentleman right here, the business administrator for the city of Margate. With all due respect, he's a great guy, smart guy, well qualified. He is. He gets his paycheck from the taxpayers of Margate. He doesn't live in Margate, but he said, no. We don't want you to have access at home. You second homeowners who would like to pay attention to what's going on in the off season. No. We don't want you to comment. That's what he said. Not specifically. John Amadeo. He talked about when he was a councilman or something over in Linwood, they used to have the local public access TV station record it and put it on channel 2 or 97. He doesn't want that kind of stuff. Why not? Well, we know why not. Because it's really in the best interest of the ruling party, of the politicians, to keep you nosy taxpayers out of things, especially in the off season. Especially in the off season. Then this thing, the internet, comes along. They can't control it. Anyway, I got some audio. You want to hear? You want to hear Richard Deeney, the business administrator of Margate, and Mr. Amadeo, the commissioner, give reasons why? No. We can't have Zoom. No. If you have any interest in talking to us, we'll give you 3 minutes. Get your ass down here. No, you can't do what Ventnor does. Ventnor does a hybrid. You can go live in the commission chambers in their city hall, or you can Zoom in. You can public comment via Zoom or a call-in or a chat. Ventnor does it right. Ventnor does a great job with their public meetings. They do the hybrid. There's no cost involved, no big cost. So that's baloney. So whenever you hear anybody saying, well, it's technologically tough, difficult, will take weeks, they got Comcast, got to spend money, that's bullshit. It really is. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Did you ever hear that? Okay, without further ado, let's listen to some clips. There's some Margate residents. Some of them, are getting over a sickness or some type of chemo or something where they're vulnerable. They want to stay away from tight spaces. Even with masks, it's a little nerve-wracking. And the lady says, hey, can you allow us to participate in the meetings at home where it's safer? Maybe we're making dinner for the kids. We want to participate, but we're busy. But we want to be able to watch or listen or participate. Maybe we're working overtime. We still want to watch and participate. No. Mr. Deeney said, I'm going to play the tape for you in a minute. Mr. Deeney said, if you really care that much, you'll come in. Yeah, Mayor Beth Holtzman of Ventnor did that and said that a couple years ago. That was not a good thing to say. Not a good thing to say. Because, almost 75% of taxpayers down the shore don't live here full time. Just want to remind everybody of that. Okay, without further ado.
The interest has declined. They have 2 or 3 people on Zoom.
Any other public comment?
Hello, my name is Diva Minter. I'm at 615 North Delavan Avenue. I also want to agree that I see a real need to Zoom these meetings. You could have a hybrid, you could have them in person and also to Zoom so that everyone who wants to attend, and I know many people who did want to attend today, could not due to the rain or illness or fear of their personal health. So if you are interested in the health of our community, please make it safe so we can all attend the Zoom meeting. I would prefer not to be here. I also have a serious health challenge, which I'm disclosing now, but I thought this was important enough for me to be here in person. So I hope you'll take that into consideration for the next meeting. It doesn't cost a lot of extra money. So I would like to know from personally, if, after my comment, if all 3 of you could please give us your opinion about Zooming the meetings for the next time.
Her issue is she wants Zoom meetings so that
She
they don't
wants
even have
Zoom
to come.
meetings because she feels uncomfortable.
Oh,
So that's the only reason.
that's what she said.
Right. So to me, there's no reason to go back to Zoom meetings. The reason there were no such thing as Zoom meetings.
It's so frustrating to hear from somebody that is from Ocean City telling Margate residents, Margate taxpayers, yeah, you don't get Zoom. We're not going to make it easy for you to participate. I'm very disappointed in Mr. Deeney when I hear this. I'm going to try to keep it under control. Serenity now, serenity now, serenity now. Mr. Deeney, this is not good. I'm going to make you walk it back. I'm going to make you walk it back. Just like Mayor Beth Holtzman walked it back when she said, if you really care about Ventnor, you'll get your butt down here at 5 o'clock. Well, what about people working overtime, feeding the kids? Maybe they are second homeowners. They live in Vineland or Cherry Hill or Philadelphia. When I heard that, I go, ooh, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. Let's continue, shall we?
Pandemic came along. And the reason why we had Zoom meetings from the pandemic, because of the pandemic and the limit of the number of people who could come out.
That's good.
We're all able to go out at this point, and we're on radio, right? We're on.
No, it's called streaming audio. It's really unfortunate that a lot of our political leaders down the shore, especially, they are freaked out by the internet. That's no excuse. I don't want to hear that you're not digital. I don't care. Don't blast that to the world. That's embarrassing that you say that. That's like saying, you know what? I own pencils. I don't know how to write.
We're on the audio.
The audio's available to people, so it's not like they can't.
Yeah, you don't. The only reason why they would request Zoom is so they could have a comment if they wanted to speak during a public comment.
That's a good point, because Ventnor does a superior job of offering a hybrid option. You can come in to Ventnor City Hall and attend the council meetings, the commissioner meetings, the planning board meetings, live and in person, and talk face to face. Or you can chat, or you can Zoom in your comment. That's what Ventnor does. It works perfectly. It's really good for the elderly, people that can't make it in. Maybe they're working long, they have a family to take care of. Maybe they don't live here full time. Ventnor does it right with the hybrid. Don't even ask me about Brigantine. They cut everything off. Brigantine went radio silent. They shut off everything, but it's Brigantine. Atlantic City has a pretty good system. Longport system is not good. Ventnor's quite good. Margate has good audio. But for them to say no to Zoom, which costs almost no money, Don't say it's a cost thing. Because every year you're pulling in an extra 30 million-ish in new ratables, and you can't cater to those who can't make it to the meetings, those who want to participate. Maybe they want to keep an eye, like in November, December, January. Take a look at the consent agenda, because you never know what's stuck and hidden in the consent agenda. I love my job. I really do.
Now, personally, we went through this when I was on Linwood City Council, and they had the mainland TV station that was part of it, Channel 2, and they used to do our live meetings, which I'm not in favor of.
Yeah, Channel 2, the mainland TV station, public access, they would live broadcast the meetings where John was a councilman. He didn't like that because he didn't want to have people see how he acted, how he stumbled. Why would you say that? I don't want people to see me in action. There's nothing more disgusting and disappointing than a elected official that doesn't make it really easy for people to participate in public meetings. The technology is here. It's been made easy. It's cheap. Often it's free. Not good, John. Mr. Dini and John Amadeo, very disappointed in your performance last night. I'm going to play this tape over and over again because that's how I roll.
I don't think the interest, and I know in Ventnor, the interest they've kept Zoom, the interest has declined.
That's completely, that's bullshit. The interest in Zoom meetings have declined in Ventnor. Is that what Mr. John Amadeo is saying? You see, John, let me tell you, interest in meetings go up and down based on the agenda items, based on, let's say, for example, some kind of an overlay project, building skyscrapers along the beach. If people knew that was going to be discussed at an upcoming Margate meeting, well, Zoom meetings would be packed with people. Maybe there's a meeting where there's not much going on. Interest would be low, participation would be low. So for John to say, and to use the city of Ventnor as an example, to say that the Zoom meetings are not doing well, they're not popular in Ventnor, don't say that, John. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to sick Lance Landgraf on you. And you know what he's about, Commissioner Landgraf. Oh, don't ruffle his feathers. Now, John, don't say that Ventnor Zoom council meetings are losing popularity. That's not true. Popularity and participation in Zoom meetings for council meetings and commissioner meetings, it's all based on what's being discussed. Like, for example, if you were going to talk about changing Amherst to a one-way, or you were going to say, hey, listen, it's going to cost $2 million to build a promenade, but now because, delays, it might cost $4 million. I think a lot of people would probably participate in the Zoom meeting. And Mr. Dini, you're an Ocean City guy. You probably should not be talking about what's in the best interest of Margate taxpayers. Nope. No, not good. But nobody pushes back because nobody follows this stuff except me. That's right.
They have 2 or 3 people on Zoom.
John, you're full of it. John, you're full of it. Using Ventnor as an example, why Margate shouldn't provide access to people who can't walk. Maybe the elderly, maybe they're sick, maybe they're afraid due to COVID to come into Commissioner Chambers on Washington right there, the old City Hall. Man, you guys are dastardly. You don't want people to see what's going to happen over the next 6 months, do you? You don't want people to see how you're making the sausage? Shame on you, Mr. Dini. Sorry to say this out in public. Mr. Amadeo, I'm calling you both out.
Work for 2 or 3 people, number one. And number two, if you want to come to a meeting, when we did TVs in Ocean City, that was fine, do it one way or the other. What it didn't want is people being able to call in from home and, oh, I have it on in the background and I'm going to chip into this kind of thing. If you got an issue or you want to come,
You come to
you
the
should
meeting.
come to the public meeting.
Do you hear that? That's called disrespect to taxpayers, especially taxpayers of Margate that are second homeowners, or people that have to stay home to feed their kids, or people that can't attend a meeting live because of health reasons or fear of catching a virus. Some people don't want to go to commissioner meetings because they could be sitting next to me and they want to avoid that at all cost. Can't blame them. Can you believe that your business administrator is saying that? A guy from Ocean City, where Ocean City does it right. Ocean City has an amazing system catering to taxpayers, no matter where they live. Everything's right there on their site. Atlantic County, Denny Levinson does a great job. You can go to the Atlantic County Commissioners meetings in person, or you can watch via Zoom. You can even ask a question via Zoom. Atlantic County Commissioner Denny Levinson does it right. Ocean City does it right. Ventnor does it right. Brigantine does nothing. They black out everything. Longport needs to get its act together. Margate, I cannot believe that Mr. Deeney and Mr. Amadeo are talking this way. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Walk it back, Mr. Deeney. Walk it back. I can't believe it. Serenity now. Serenity now. I get too involved with this. Good thing nobody can tell who I am with this amazing disguise.
Speak. We give you your time. We see who you are. You have a face here. You're a real person. I think
Oh, we want to know who you are. Show us your papers. We want to see your face. Ventnor doesn't have that problem. Ventnor does not have that problem. Can you believe that Mr. Deeney's saying that?
background and I'm going to people, number one. And
One more
number
time.
two, if you want to come to a meeting, when we did TVs in Ocean City, that was fine, do it one way or the other. What it didn't want is people being able to call in from home and, oh, I have it on in the background and I'm going to chip into this kind of thing. If you got an issue or you want to come,
You come to
you
the
should
meeting.
come to the public meeting and speak. We give you your time, we see who you are, you have a face here, you're a real person. I think that's a road that you'll never get out of.
Listen to Mr. Deeney, somebody from Ocean City, paid for by the taxpayers of Margate. Walk it back, Mr. Deeney. Walk it back as soon as possible. And Mr. Amadeo, and you want to be the mayor. Hey, John Amadeo, is any truth to the rumor that Lou from Boca might be the next mayor? I don't know. You're enough at that. I'm going to vote for Roz Feldman. Roz, is that her name? Oh, man. Is that in May of 22? The election's up? Let me tell you, these three gentlemen, these four, they don't want you to know what's going on. They're going to try to block everything in regards to how they're going to make decisions. You think they're going to try to build a skyscraper next to Lucy? No. Normally, I like Mr. Deeney. I like Business Administrator Deeney. But after tonight, I go, this guy, he's really sticking his neck out there. Not good. Not good. Really disappointing.
If
Once you start,
I'm total agreement, Rich, Marty.
And you, Mr. Becker, you're not a very bright man either. You're in agreement that you don't want 75% of the taxpayers of Margate to be able to participate in your meetings. Let's face facts. You don't even broadcast or webcast your school board meetings. That's a problem. but very few webcast school board meetings, even though it's like a third of the city. You have commissioner and council meetings. You have planning and zoning. And you have school board stuff. They all should be webcast. What are you trying to hide? And Brigantine, like I said, is the worst of the worst. It really is. Because nobody pushes back because they're afraid. They're afraid. But Ocean City does it right. Because Ocean City is transparent, they have a great taxpayers association down there with the fairness in taxes people. They were able to push back on the current mayor, Jay Gillian. Said, Jay, you're going to buy that property for $9 million, that old car dealership? No. It's only worth $6 million. That's called transparency. That's how it saves taxpayers money. And now we have the business administrator of Margate, along with the mayor of Margate and the commissioner of Margate, Maury Blumberg, staying quiet as usual. They're claiming that if you really love your city, you're going to come here and you'll speak for 3 minutes and we'll cut you off at 3 minutes. Whether your street collapsed and your house foundation is falling apart, whether your puppies are dying from poison, whether maybe you had a business along Amherst Avenue, boat slips, docks, and they took away access to your slip or your dock. That's the kind of stuff. Maybe they want to make it kind of tough for you to participate. It's not a cost issue. It's not a technology issue.
Good by me.
Go by me.
Sorry.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
Maury did check in.
Wear a mask.
Okay.
okay. Agreement reached, Maury.
Good by me.
Go.
Good by.
To get out of if you
Once you
don't.
start.
I'm total agreement reached, Maury.
Good by me.
Yep, all four should be ashamed of themselves. All four of them. You should vote all three of them out because what you just heard, they don't want you to participate in these meetings using technology. And don't listen to Mr. Deeney that says, well, we didn't have it before the pandemic. It's kind of a silver lining of the pandemic. We got to use these new tools like Zoom and webcasting. It allowed us to stay connected and record things. They hate that. They don't want you to know how the sausage is being made. This is the silver lining, that we all got a little bit better at technology to be able to communicate and still do business. You should not vote for any of those three, Becker, Amadeo, and Blumberg. All three of them last night said, we don't want taxpayers to participate in these meetings. But if they want to, they have to come all the way down here to Old City Hall. That's shameful. Shame on you. And shame on you for not telling the truth about Ventnor. Ventnor does it right. Doesn't do everything right. But in this case, Ventnor nailed it. A hybrid system. You can attend in person, mask up, social distant, or maybe you're a little nervous about it. Your immunity is compromised. Maybe you got a broken leg. Maybe you're, getting up there in age and you can't get there. Maybe you got to make dinner for the kids. Maybe you're working overtime, but you still want to be able to keep an eye on the commissioner meetings or the school board meetings or the zoning board meetings. That's where click and participate with Zoom or any other type of webcasting tool comes in really handy. Politicians hate that. They don't want 3/4 of their constituents to keep an eye on what they're doing. Remember, down the shore, 75% of Jersey Shore homeowners in general, they're second homeowners. They're the ones that get hosed the most. But whenever I hear anybody, an elected politician, a paid public employee say, If you really want to participate in these decisions, get down here. That is unacceptable. Mayor Beth Holtzman of Ventnor said something like that a few years ago. She walked it back. Now Margate's trying to do it. Is anything you're trying to hide, guys? Anything you want to slip into the consent agenda that you may want to let us know about? Mr. Deeney, not good, especially from a guy from Ocean City. Not good.
Go by me.
John? Okay,
So we'll wear masks.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, wear a mask. That'll solve everything. Liars, liars, liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Do you think someone should get back to Mary, whatever her name was, Mary
Slovine.
Sloman?
Yeah.
How's this? Put it all right now, Rich?
Okay. Would
Well,
you do
I
that?
have my vaccine. I had my booster.
Call her and just tell her that
You don't have a monoclonal
with what she said,
It's,
we're going to go back to wearing masks.
This is all baloney. Hiding behind the COVID thing, the mask thing. That is not the key issue here. Finally, you can have civic engagement using these inexpensive tools like Zoom or Skype, online conferencing. Boy, this stuff didn't really exist a long time ago. It was expensive and it was cumbersome. Now it's really easy to connect people. They don't want you to be that connected. You hear me, Mr. Deeney? I get too involved with this because my background's in technology and communications and building hyper-local news sites for small towns, especially small towns along the Jersey Shore. These are the towns where a majority of the taxpayers don't vote here, nor are they here full-time around, year-round. Politicians like that. They only have to cater to local active voters. They can ignore those who are back in Philly. Maybe they're snowbirds. They're down in Florida. It's a slap in the face to taxpayers who want to participate.
I
We
think
don't
it
know
was the
who's
woman,
vaccinated and unvaccinated.
I don't remember her name. I think it was the woman after Mary that
challenge.
put the pressure on us to,
But that's her friend. So.
yeah, so
she's,
that's
the only
woman I
reason
think
she's
we
here is
could
because of
contact.
Mary.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're still recording, so
So that's the
Cool, cool.
woman, if we're gonna
Okay.
contact someone,
Okay.
that's the woman we would contact. Okay.
And Mayor Becker, he just wants to get this over with. He's getting tired. He's got dinner on the table at home.
Cool, cool. All right. Any other business here? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Mayor Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
yes.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Mr. Deeney, Mr. Becker, Mr. Amadeo, Mr. Blumberg. You don't want people to participate. All three of you hopefully will not get reelected. Shameful. And that means, Mr. Deeney, you'd probably lose your job too.
We will now open public
be-
comment. You may discuss any.
Oh, shut up. We got more great video and great audio coming up later, but I wanted to get that off my chest. These four guys, Deeney, Becker, Amadeo, and Blumberg, they don't want you to participate using Zoom. You could be bedridden. Get your ass in here. Are you immunocompromised? Are you afraid of catching something? Just put a mask on and get in here. We'll give you 3 minutes, but no more. Shame on you, Mr. Becker, Mr. Amadeo, Mr. Blumberg, and Mr. Deeney. Shame on you. Down Beach Buzz. That's downbeachbuzz.com. Make sure you support the Margate Homeowners Association. Go to margatehomeowners.com and make sure you sign up for Down Beach Buzz, the newsletter. Go to downbeachbuzz.com.